Let us drift quietly into a world where battles are not only of men, but of the spirit, where the clash of swords and shields carries whispers of divine justice, and where every punishment given through war becomes a quiet lesson for the soul. Soft winds carry us over ancient lands, where temples rise like gentle reminders of what is sacred. Here, even the pain of conflict is woven with purpose, a way for spirits to awaken, to heal, and to find balance in the gentle rhythm of life. As we journey through these stories, let your heart soften, let your breath slow. In the echoes of sacred battles, we discover not only the weight of consequence, but the tender light of spiritual growth. If these quiet journeys help your spirit find rest, subscribe to drift with us into many more nights of calm. Share in the comments where you are listening from, and let us send gentle light across the world to your quiet space. The sun lowers itself gently behind distant hills, spilling soft golden light across a field once filled with the quiet thunder of armies. The wind carries only whispers now, moving slowly across the tall grass, bending it in gentle waves. Dust rises lightly from the earth, catching the last warmth of the day, and a calm hush drifts over everything. Here, the battlefield sleeps as if the earth itself exhales. In this quiet, the echoes of what once was do not feel harsh or frightening. They are soft traces, gentle reminders of the passage of time. Each fallen shield, each broken spear lies in patient stillness. They do not demand sorrow or anger. Instead, they murmur lessons of balance, of choice, of the sacred threads that connect all souls. You float above the field, feeling the calm as the spirit moves freely among memories. Soft clouds glide across the sky, brushing the pale light of early evening. The air smells faintly of smoke and warm soil. Even in this lingering scent of conflict, there is peace. The earth has absorbed all tension, holding it quietly, as a mother holds a sleeping child. The soul that wanders here does not carry weight, only gentle curiosity, observing how punishment in the old stories shaped hearts, guided kingdoms, and taught the sacred rhythms of life. A distant drum echoes somewhere beyond the hills. It is slow, measured, almost a heartbeat of the world itself. It reminds you that every action has rhythm, every choice has sound, every moment leaves a trace in the calm of eternity. As you float above the whispering battlefield, you sense that these sounds are not commands, but soft invitations to watch, to feel, to understand without thinking too hard. Here, the armies moved once with strength and courage, with fear and hope intertwined. Now there is no rush, no pride or loss to be felt, only the stillness of sacred consequences. In the old stories, each clash of swords was not only a struggle of bodies, but a mirror of the spirit. The lessons of courage, of responsibility, of humility are woven quietly into each ripple of wind and shadow across the fields. Soft light lingers on a row of fallen banners. Their colors have faded, yet they hold the memory of intention, of belief, of the prayers that once lifted soldiers' hearts. Each banner sways slightly in the evening breeze, like the gentle breathing of the land itself. In their quiet motion, the spirit learns how punishment and guidance move together, forming a subtle protective order. There is no anger here, only teaching, only the gentle shaping of life and soul. A single raven glides over the horizon, black wings catching the last glimmers of sunlight. Its shadow sweeps across the battlefield like a whispering hand. In many old teachings, birds carry messages between the earthly and the sacred. Here, the raven does not frighten but guides. It points softly to places where past actions have settled, where lessons have been felt, and where the spirit can pause to reflect. You drift in its silent path, feeling safe, feeling still. The ground itself is dotted with stones, worn smooth by years and seasons. Some bare marks of swords and shields, faint impressions of moments long past. These small indentations are like echoes of choice. They are not punishments in the way the mind thinks of pain. They are reminders that every deed, every thought, leaves a gentle mark upon the world. The spirit moving here can see that these marks are not meant to scare, but to nurture understanding, to show the tender care of cosmic balance. Along the edges of the field, wildflowers have grown. Soft lavender, pale white, and muted gold sway quietly among the grass. Even in places where conflict once raged, life finds a way to unfold peacefully. The sacred nature of punishment is not only in the acts of war, but in the quiet renewal that follows. The flowers bloom, the soil rests, and the wind hums softly, teaching that each ending holds the beginning of calm and growth. You drift near a small stream that winds lazily across the battlefield. Its water is clear, reflecting the dimming sky and the soft twinkle of the first stars. In ancient stories, water often carries the weight of souls and lessons. Here, the stream does not rush, does not demand haste. It simply moves, carrying the gentle essence of consequences, washing over memories, smoothing edges, and reminding the spirit that time heals all. Along the banks, reeds sway with the slow rhythm of the current. Tiny fish ripple beneath the surface, moving effortlessly. This quiet movement mirrors the slow unfolding of understanding in the soul. Sacred punishment is not about fear or pain alone. It is about guidance, a shaping that is as natural and gentle as the flowing stream. The spirit watches, feeling the ease of letting go, of releasing worry, of simply being present in the soft, steady rhythm of life. The sky darkens slowly. A single moon rises, pale and tender. Its light spills across the battlefield, turning broken shields into silver, shadows into gentle curves, and dust into floating stars. In this moonlight, even the remnants of battle feel like soft whispers of the past, guiding without pressure, teaching without harshness. The spirit floats through this calm illumination, aware that punishment once carried in war now serves as quiet care for all who walk the path of life. As night deepens, crickets hum softly in the distance. Their rhythm is a lullaby, a reminder of the gentle persistence of life. The wind moves over the grass, over the stones, over the water, as if carrying every lesson to rest. You drift, weightless, through the field, sensing how sacred punishment shapes not just the hearts of warriors, but the flow of entire worlds. There is no judgment here, only the soft unfolding of understanding and healing. Among the ruins of an old wooden gate, ivy climbs, curling and twisting. Its green tendrils move slowly, patiently, filling spaces once empty, covering wounds with quiet grace. This is the essence of sacred balance. Even where harshness once seemed to dwell, nature restores with calm, teaching the spirit that every trial carries the seed of renewal. The battlefield, once full of tension, is now a place of gentle teaching, where lessons float silently like petals on the stream. A soft mist begins to rise from the earth. It hugs the grass, the stones, the water, turning all into muted shapes of silver and gray. In this quiet veil, memories of the past are not sharp or frightening. They are tender like echoes of lullabies long ago. The spirit drifts within the mist, absorbing the calm, letting it settle into every corner of thought and feeling. Here, the sacred nature of punishment is revealed as a quiet guardian, moving invisibly, shaping with care. The stars appear one by one. Each small point of light seems to hold a story, a trace of past lives, past choices, past lessons. They shine without hurry, without demand, as the spirit floats under their gaze. In the old tales, stars often remember. They carry the wisdom of those who have walked before, reminding the soul that consequences, though sometimes heavy, are ultimately gentle guides on the path toward peace. Slowly, the battlefield softens further. The wind calms, the stream slows, the night deepens into velvet quiet. You float above it all, feeling weightless, safe, and serene. The echoes of war are now only soft whispers, guiding the spirit toward reflection and gentle understanding. Every shadow, every stone, every ripple in the water is part of a tender rhythm, a sacred story that asks only for calm attention, only for quiet presence. Let the moonlight linger on your skin. Let the mist hug your senses. Every small sound, every small movement is a reminder that life unfolds slowly, that punishment and guidance are part of a larger harmony, and that the spirit moves gently forward through it all. The battlefield sleeps now, and you sleep in its soft, whispering embrace. Let us drift onward, over fields where ancient lessons still breathe softly in the wind. Let the stars carry every memory toward quiet understanding. Now rest, as the battlefield, the stream, the moon, and the flowers settle into deep, peaceful night. The spirit is safe. The world is calm. The whispers of sacred guidance continue, silent and tender, cradling you until sleep carries you gently away. The night sky stretches wide above quiet hills, a velvet blanket scattered with gentle points of light. Each star shimmers softly, as if breathing slowly with the world. The air smells faintly of evening dew, carrying the subtle fragrance of wild jasmine and warm stone. You drift over these hills, feeling the calm settle deeper into your body as the soft winds carry whispers of old stories. Beneath the stars, temples rise in peaceful stillness. Their stone walls glow faintly in the silver light, smooth and timeless. Every column, every carved relief holds quiet memory, the echo of hands that built with care, devotion, and soft, reverent thought. These temples do not demand attention or worship. They simply exist, calm and patient, as if waiting to share the gentle lessons of sacred law. A single lantern swings softly in a distant courtyard. Its light flickers, catching the edges of carvings on the walls. Scenes of warriors and sages move like whispers across the stone, telling of choices made long ago and the tender guidance of higher powers. The spirit that drifts here feels the weight of these lessons as soft warmth, not pressure. The air itself seems to hum with the understanding that every action, even in battle, carries quiet consequences. You float along a path lined with ancient stones. Each step releases a faint echo, like a heartbeat in the still night. The moonlight kisses the tops of arches, turning their curves into soft silver threads. In this calm, you sense that sacred law is not rigid or cold. It is like a river moving quietly beneath the surface, shaping the course of life with gentle persistence. Even when humans falter, the guidance remains tender, unseen, ever present. From within the temple, a distant bell rings slowly once, twice, then fading. Its sound moves like a slow breath through the night. Each vibration carries memory, carrying wisdom, carrying the soft reminder that every soul is observed with care, not judgment. You drift with the echo, feeling it settle around you, gentle and safe. A soft embrace of understanding that nothing is wasted, and all is held in sacred balance. The temple steps are smooth under your imagined touch. Moss grows quietly between the stones, soft green against gray. You sense that even in places where conflict once roared, life returns in quiet ways. The world heals itself with patience. The carvings on the temple walls tell of warriors guided by divine eyes, showing how sacred law flows not only through action, but also through reflection and care. A breeze moves through the columns, carrying the faint scent of incense and flowers. It drifts over statues of guardians and sages, standing quietly with soft, unwavering presence. Their faces are calm, their eyes gentle, observing without harshness. In the stories that live here, punishment is a teacher, not a tyrant. Every lesson is woven with grace, shaping hearts and guiding spirits toward understanding, rather than fear. Outside, the gardens ripple with moonlit shadows. Soft petals brush against cool stone and small streams murmur quietly, reflecting the stars above. The water moves slowly, carrying lessons from the past into the present. In its gentle current, the spirit feels the steady flow of cause and effect. Sacred law is not sudden or harsh. It is patient, like this water, flowing over time, shaping the world with quiet care. You drift closer to the temple gates, where lanterns line the edges like glowing stars fallen to earth. Their light touches the carvings of battles and prayers, turning every line into soft silver threads. In this luminous calm, you sense that the divine gaze watches without interruption, yet never intrudes. It is not frightening. It is like the slow warmth of sunlight through a window, reassuring, guiding, holding the soul in a gentle embrace. Inside the temple, the air feels cooler, heavier with quiet reverence. Faint patterns of light trace along the walls, shadows dancing softly as though breathing. Each echo of movement is measured, deliberate calm. You float through this sacred space, noticing the way the stones remember the touch of hands long gone. Each mark, each carving carries soft instruction. Every act, every choice, every thought leaves a trace, a gentle ripple through the tapestry of life. Along a quiet corridor, you notice the carvings of scales and flames. They do not frighten but teach. The scales balance softly, the flames flicker without consuming. These are symbols of the harmony that guides the human heart. Punishment in the sacred stories is not cruelty. It is a careful shaping of the spirit, like a gardener tending to fragile blooms. The temple holds these truths with patience, as if time itself is a caretaker of wisdom. A distant chant drifts through the open doors. Soft voices rise and fall in gentle waves. They carry no urgency, only calm. The rhythm is like slow breathing, soothing the heart, quieting the mind. The spirit floats within this melody, feeling the teachings wrap around gently. Each note is a reminder that the laws that guide human action are rooted in care, in balance, and in the steady unfolding of life's quiet lessons. The night deepens further. Stars gleam brighter as the moon climbs higher. You float above the temple roof, watching shadows stretch like slow, peaceful rivers. The carved faces of guardians seem to smile softly, not at judgment but with understanding. Each stone, each carving, each whispering wind carries the same gentle message. Every soul moves under watchful care. Every choice finds its gentle echo, and all is held in sacred balance. Outside, the gardens continue to breathe. Streams ripple softly over stones, petals sway in slow arcs, and small animals stir quietly in the underbrush. Even here in the calm after stories of warriors and battles, life moves with tender rhythm. Sacred law is reflected in every movement, in every sound, in every soft glow of light that touches the temple walls. The spirit feels a growing peace, as though the world itself is breathing a lullaby just for you. A gentle fog begins to roll in from distant hills. It hugs the ground, softening the edges of stone and flower alike. Shadows melt into silver gray, turning the world into a gentle, endless space of calm. The temples beneath the stars stand quiet and eternal, holding lessons of the past without demand. You drift through this space, weightless, knowing that each story of law, guidance, and consequence exists only to shape the spirit with tender care. The moon reflects off a still pond, turning the surface into a mirror of stars. You float closer and see the reflection of the temple of guardians of the distant hills. Everything glows softly in silver and shadow. The sacred laws of old, witnessed by divine eyes, seem alive in this reflection, not as rules or commands, but as gentle teachers, moving softly through time, nurturing understanding, patience, and quiet harmony. As the night continues, the temple gardens grow quieter. Only the soft ripple of water and the slow rustle of leaves remain. The spirit drifts among columns and courtyards, noticing the calm care of every stone, every carving, every blade of grass. Sacred law is not pressure, not harshness. It is the slow shaping of life, the gentle unfolding of understanding. Even punishment, when viewed from this quiet space, is a soft guiding hand, leading the spirit toward balance and peace. Now the moon hovers high above, a pale guardian of the night. Lanterns flicker like stars that have descended to earth. The air smells faintly of incense, soil, and flowers. The temples beneath the stars hold every story gently, cradling every choice and every consequence. You drift slowly away from the stones and carvings, floating on the soft winds, carrying the peace of this sacred place with you. Let us drift onward over quiet roofs, through glowing courtyards, along soft streams that mirror the night sky. Let the divine eyes that watched warriors long ago continue to guide, not with fear but with calm, gentle care. Now rest as the stars return to the heavens, as the temples settle into soft shadow, and as your spirit finds its own quiet, tender rhythm of sleep. The night stretches endlessly, a soft canopy of indigo pierced by quiet stars. The air is cool, carrying a hint of earth and distant fires long extinguished. You drift slowly over a narrow path that winds through quiet hills, where the shadows of ancient trees sway gently in the breeze. Each movement is calm, deliberate, a slow breath of the world itself. Along the path, figures emerge. Soldiers move silently, their steps measured, careful. There is no clamor here, no chaos of battle, only the soft rhythm of duty, the quiet weight of responsibility carried with calm precision. Their armor glints faintly in the moonlight, like silver streams flowing in gentle arcs. Each footfall is a lesson, each pause a soft echo of sacred law. The path bends beside a shallow stream, where water ripples quietly over smooth stones. You drift alongside the soldiers, noticing how their shadows touch the earth lightly, never harsh, never heavy. Their march is not for glory or fear. It is a careful dance with fate, guided by principles older than empires, soft as moonlight, steady as the river flowing past. The air carries the faint scent of incense and wildflowers, mingling with the earthy aroma of damp soil. Each breath feels like a lullaby, coaxing the spirit into gentle observation. Here, the sacred march is not punishment in the harsh sense. It is a shaping, a quiet molding of hearts and minds. Each soldier moves with awareness, their steps imprinting humility and care upon the earth, teaching the spirit to follow without force, to learn without strain. Along the edges of the path, small lanterns glow softly. Their light flickers over the soldiers' faces, revealing eyes calm and focused. There is no anger, no tension, only the quiet determination to move with purpose. In the old stories, such marches were guided by divine hands, unseen but always present. The rhythm of their steps becomes a soft meditation, a reminder that every action carries a consequence, and every consequence is a gentle teacher. You drift closer to a hilltop where the soldiers pause. They stand silently, facing the soft glow of the moon. The world stretches below them, fields and streams shimmering in silver light. Each breath they take is slow, measured, as though syncing with the quiet pulse of the earth itself. The spirit feels their patience, their awareness, and begins to mirror it, floating with a weightless grace over the landscape. A distant horn sounds, low and soft, echoing through the hills. It is not a call to fight, but a signal of balance, a gentle reminder of sacred order. The sound wraps around the marchers like a soft blanket, guiding without pressure. Each soldier bows slightly, then resumes the quiet rhythm of their steps. The march continues, steady and unhurried, each movement a note in a lullaby of justice that flows like water over stones. Along the path, wild grasses sway, brushed by soft winds. The soldiers move beside them, never disturbing the delicate stems, as if aware of the small lives that share their journey. Each step is careful, teaching humility. Each pause honors the unseen threads that connect every living thing. Here, the sacred nature of justice is revealed not in punishment alone, but in attentiveness, respect, and the quiet shaping of intention. The moon rises higher, casting silver patterns across the forest floor. You drift alongside the soldiers, feeling the weight of their silent duty. They do not hurry. They do not falter. Their march is a meditation, a slow unfolding of understanding. The earth beneath their feet seems to respond, softening with every careful step, whispering gentle lessons of balance and responsibility. A soft mist rises from the lowlands, curling around the path like tender fingers. It touches the soldiers' boots, the edges of their cloaks, the tips of the grasses. In the mist, the world feels suspended, every sound muted, every shadow softened. The march becomes a slow dance of consciousness. Each step echoes softly, a gentle rhythm that calms the mind, guiding the spirit into quiet reflection. The soldiers pause beside an old stone monument. Moss climbs its sides, petals from nearby flowers drift across its base. It marks the site of choices made long ago, of justice administered with care. The figures stand in quiet respect, letting the lessons settle over them like soft rain. You drift among them, feeling the tender presence of the past. Sacred law, though unseen, flows here like water through the roots of ancient trees, shaping the path with patient wisdom. A soft bell rings from a distant temple. Its sound moves slowly through the hills, touching the marchers with warmth and calm. The soldiers bow their heads briefly, then continue. Each step is lighter now, carried on the rhythm of understanding rather than obligation. The spirit drifts in harmony with their pace, sensing the gentle power of justice applied softly, with mindfulness, without rush or force. The path curves through a quiet forest. Leaves brush softly against cloaks and armor, creating a gentle symphony of sound. Birds rest in the branches, their eyes calm and watchful. In the stories that live here, even the creatures of the forest carry memory of the march, a silent acknowledgement of duty and balance. The spirit notices their stillness, learning from their quiet presence the subtle strength of observing without interference. A brook flows beside the path, its water reflecting the silver moonlight. The soldiers pause briefly, dipping hands to the cool stream. Their faces are serene, focused. In this small act, the sacred nature of justice unfolds. It is not only about rules or punishment or reward. It is about the soft, steady shaping of hearts, the careful guidance that leads all toward harmony and understanding. The water carries the lesson onward, rippling gently over smooth stones, over fallen leaves, over the spirit itself. Above, stars shimmer quietly. Each one seems to watch, not judging but remembering. Their light falls on the soldier's path, on the stream, on the soft earth, illuminating every step with gentle clarity. The march becomes a slow meditation, a breathing of the world, a rhythm of quiet justice that moves over the land without force. You float above, weightless, cradled by the silver glow and the soft hum of night. The forest thins, revealing a wide meadow bathed in moonlight. The soldiers step carefully across the grass, each footfall leaving a faint, soft imprint. These traces are not burdens. They are reminders, echoes of actions taken and lessons received. The spirit drifts above them, feeling the calm resonance of sacred guidance, learning that even in duty, even in consequence, there is softness, patience, and gentle care. A light breeze carries the faint scent of distant flowers. The soldiers inhale it deeply, moving slowly, as if the air itself is part of their lesson. The march continues over gentle hills, past quiet ponds, beneath tall, patient trees. Each step is deliberate, each breath a slow tide. The spirit floating here can sense the careful balance between action and reflection, between choice and consequence, between human effort and divine guidance. As the night deepens, the soldiers reach the edge of a quiet river. The water moves lazily, reflecting the pale moon. They pause, watching the current, feeling its soft power. The march has brought them not only across land, but through reflection, through understanding, through the quiet rhythm of justice that flows over all living things. Their duty is complete in its own gentle way, not through triumph, but through presence, mindfulness, and care. The river's edge is calm, its surface smooth. The soldiers kneel briefly, letting the water touch their hands, letting it carry away the weight of the march. In this moment, the sacred nature of their steps becomes clear. Justice, when carried with awareness, does not harm. It shapes, it guides, it flows. The spirit floats over the river, over the meadow, over the hills, carried by the same quiet rhythm, learning the tender power of measured steps and mindful action. Stars twinkle overhead like soft, attentive eyes. Lanterns from distant temples glow faintly on the horizon. The march has ended, but the rhythm of justice continues quietly, without need of notice, without demand. The soldiers rest, their breaths deep and even. The spirit drifts with them, weightless, calm, enveloped in soft silver light. Every step, every pause, every ripple in the stream is part of the gentle weaving of understanding, balance, and care. Let us drift onward, leaving the quiet march behind, floating over the river and meadow, guided by soft starlight. Let the lessons of patience, humility, and the tender power of divine law settle gently in your heart. Now rest, as the stars return to their steady vigil, as the wind whispers softly through the hills, and as your spirit drifts peacefully into sleep. Night stretches gently over quiet hills, a soft blanket of deep indigo sprinkled with stars. The air carries a cool, earthy scent, mingling with the faint fragrance of wildflowers near the riverbank. You drift slowly, floating above the land, feeling the gentle pull of moonlight across the water. The river below moves calmly, its surface smooth and silvery, reflecting the soft glow of the heavens above. The river has seen many things. Long ago, armies passed along its banks, their footsteps heavy, their shields clanging softly in the rhythm of battle. Now, the water carries only whispers of those echoes, gentle ripples that brush the rocks and reeds like soft hands. Each wave, each ripple, moves quietly, teaching the spirit that even harshness, when remembered and released, becomes a gentle guide. Along the river's edge, reeds sway in the soft breeze. Their green stalks bend gracefully, brushing the water's surface with tender motion. You drift closer, feeling the stillness of this moment. In the old stories, rivers often carry the weight of consequences. They cleanse, they purify, and they flow onward without judgment. Even punishment, when touched by sacred law, is a soft and necessary shaping, a careful restoration of balance. The water murmurs as it moves, a slow, even rhythm that calms the mind. Tiny fish ripple beneath the surface, moving effortlessly through the current. The river carries not only the traces of past conflicts, but also the quiet energy of renewal. Stones worn smooth beneath the flowing water remind the spirit that all things soften with time. Even harshness becomes gentle, and even echoes of anger transform into quiet lessons for the soul. A soft mist rises from the river, curling over the banks, wrapping the landscape in silver-gray calm. The air feels thick with quiet remembrance, yet free of heaviness. You float above the mist, drifting with the slow, patient movement of the water. Each ripple carries the memory of old choices, of actions taken and consequences felt. The river is not cruel. It is a teacher, moving with steady care, showing how sacred punishment can cleanse and restore harmony without harshness. Along the far bank, moss-covered stones form gentle steps into the water. Their edges are smooth, shaped by countless seasons of river flow. You drift nearer, watching how the current brushes around them, softening every rough corner. In these small gestures, the spirit perceives the quiet power of justice as it moves naturally, shaping what it touches, healing what it passes over, and carrying all forward toward balance. The river widens, revealing small pools of still water. Each reflects the moonlight like glass, capturing the soft shimmer of stars. You float over these pools, noticing how the reflections seem to hold memories of past lives, past choices, past conflicts. Even punishment, once harsh in human eyes, becomes part of this gentle mirror, showing not harm, but the quiet guidance of cosmic order. Every ripple, every reflection, is a soft lesson in patience and understanding. From a distant hill, the faint sound of a bell drifts through the night. Its tone is low and even, blending with the soft murmur of the river. The sound flows like the current itself, moving across the land and over the water, touching the reeds, the stones, the air. The spirit feels it wrap gently around the heart, a reminder that all acts, all consequences are carried forward with care. Even punishment, when touched by sacred law, holds within it the possibility of cleansing and renewal. Along the riverbank, fallen leaves float on the water, moving slowly with the current. Each leaf carries a memory, a trace of a past moment. You drift among them, noticing how the river cradles them without rushing, without judgment. In the stories that live here, sacred punishment is not about pain alone. It is about restoration, about shaping the spirit with care, about moving the soul toward harmony and understanding. The moon rises higher, casting pale silver light across the river. Shadows bend gently across the water, creating patterns that shift slowly with the current. You float above, feeling the calm deepen with every breath. Even where conflict once scarred the land, even where echoes of harshness remain, the river moves steadily, softening, shaping, and carrying all toward balance. There is no rush. There is only the slow, patient unfolding of harmony. A heron glides over the water, wings moving with effortless grace. Its reflection follows silently beneath, touching the soft ripples of the river. In many old teachings, birds are messengers, guides of the spirit. Here, the heron shows how even in the presence of past punishment, the spirit can rise above, moving lightly, observing softly, understanding gently. You drift with the heron's path, weightless, calm, and serene. The river bends, carrying you toward a quiet waterfall. Its fall is gentle, a cascade of silver threads splashing softly into the pool below. The sound is soothing, a slow, rolling lullaby that eases every thought and calms every worry. The sacred nature of punishment is visible here, in how water flows over rough edges, smoothing, softening, cleansing without haste. Every stone it touches is a gentle teacher, every drop a quiet guide. Along the pool's edge, smooth pebbles catch the moonlight. Each glimmers faintly like tiny stars fallen to earth. You drift closer, noticing how the water moves around them, never forcing, never harsh. The lessons of the river are simple. Consequences flow onward, memories are carried gently, and even harshness serves a higher purpose when guided by care. The spirit learns to receive these lessons without fear, with quiet understanding and calm. From deep within the forest along the riverbank, the soft cry of an owl drifts through the night. Its voice is low, measured, a slow reminder of quiet vigilance. In the old stories, owls are watchers of balance, guardians of the night. The spirit notices its calm presence, sensing that sacred punishment, like the river, observes, guides, and restores, without need for anger or force. The owl's gaze mirrors the flowing water, steady, patient, and soft. The river widens further, reflecting the sky above in smooth, endless silver. You float over the gentle current, feeling the ebb and flow of all things. Past conflicts, past errors, past punishments. They are not forgotten, but they are carried forward with care, washed gently by the waters of understanding. The spirit feels light, weightless, held by the slow, steady rhythm of water moving through time. Along the bank, wildflowers sway in the breeze, their petals brushing softly against the stones. Even in places where conflict once raged, life finds calm expression. The river nurtures them, the night watches over them, and the spirit drifts quietly, absorbing the gentle lesson that punishment, when applied with sacred care, restores harmony rather than fear. Every petal, every ripple, every soft breath of wind carries this truth. The moon casts long silver lines across the water, tracing the path of the river as it winds into the distance. You drift over it all, feeling the hush of night deepen around you. Each ripple, each shadow, each soft reflection holds the gentle reminder that all acts have consequence, all consequences have lesson, and all lessons are carried forward with calm, patient guidance. Even punishment becomes part of a soft, flowing story of renewal. A gentle fog begins to rise from the pools and bends of the river, curling around rocks and reeds. Its silver-gray touch blurs the edges of the world, turning every sound into a lullaby, every sight into a soft memory. You float through it, weightless and calm, noticing how the river carries all things onward. Sacred punishment moves here not as threat, but as tender shaping, as careful guidance toward balance and peace. The night deepens, stars twinkling quietly above, reflected in the smooth water. Lanterns from distant temples glimmer faintly on the horizon. The river carries the echoes of old stories, not to fright, but to guide. Every ripple, every leaf, every soft splash is part of a gentle rhythm, a slow lesson in humility, care, and harmony. You float above it, cradled by moonlight and mist, letting every soft sound settle deep into your spirit. Let us drift onward, following the river as it winds silently through hills and valleys, carrying all memories, all lessons, all past actions toward calm, quiet balance. Let the water guide the spirit gently, cleansing without harshness, shaping without force. Now rest as the stars return to their steady vigil, as the mist curls softly along the banks, and as your soul drifts peacefully into sleep. Night drapes softly across the hills, a velvet curtain embroidered with quiet stars. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of smoke from distant torches. You drift gently along a winding path, guided by the silver light of the moon, feeling the quiet warmth that comes from small flames flickering ahead. Each flicker holds memory, each glow whispers softly of lessons learned long ago. The torches line a narrow trail, their flames moving lightly in the night breeze. They cast golden light on the stones, the trees, the soft earth beneath. In the old stories, such fires were not only protection, but guidance. They reveal paths through darkness, showing where the spirit may tread safely, and where careful attention brings gentle understanding. You drift slowly beside them, feeling their warmth settle quietly around your heart. Along the path, warriors move with measured steps. Their faces glow in torchlight, revealing calm determination rather than anger. Each step seems deliberate, a slow conversation with the inner self. The flames illuminate more than the road. They illuminate the inner trials of those who carry heavy duty. You float beside them, weightless, learning how even the most difficult burdens can be met with gentle patience. The night air carries the faint smell of burning wood, mingled with cool dew and the earthy scent of nearby forests. The firelight flickers across smooth stones and delicate ferns, casting dancing shadows that seem to breathe with the world. Each movement is calm, rhythmic, a soft lesson in endurance and attention. Sacred justice, like the flames, does not burn with harshness. It warms and clarifies, revealing the hidden corners of the heart with tender illumination. A distant drum echoes softly, its beat slow and measured. It blends with the crackling of the torches, forming a gentle rhythm that moves through the hills and valleys. The warriors pause, their steps aligning with the soft cadence of the drum. You drift over them, noticing how each breath, each heartbeat, becomes a mirror of the rhythm around them. The fires teach more than sight. They teach the careful balance between strength and serenity, between duty and compassion. Along the path, soft streams reflect the torchlight, turning water into liquid gold. The currents ripple slowly, carrying the reflection of dancing flames. Here, punishment and trials are mirrored not to frighten but to cleanse and guide. Each ripple seems to say that even when the heart faces harsh truth, the spirit may emerge softened, renewed, and wiser. You float above the streams, letting their gentle movement calm the mind and soothe the soul. The warriors reach a clearing where the fires burn brighter, their light spilling over a ring of ancient stones. Each stone is smooth, worn by time and stories long past. You drift among them, sensing the quiet presence of past souls who once walked these paths. The flames reflect in their carved surfaces, turning every mark into a soft illumination of understanding. Here, the spirit witnesses sacred justice as a slow, patient shaping rather than a harsh force. Above, the stars shimmer gently, their silver light blending with the gold of the flames. The night is still, except for the soft whisper of wind through leaves. Each torch, each flicker, each shadowed corner reveals a subtle lesson. Forgiveness is possible, patience is a quiet strength, and the heart can endure even when tested. The spirit floats alongside these truths, cradled by the warmth and calm of soft illumination. The path continues into a gentle forest, where the torches guide silently among tall trees. Their bark glows faintly, kissed by firelight, and leaves sway softly in the night breeze. You drift over this forest with the warriors, noticing how the flames touch each branch and stone, revealing paths with care. The inner trials of the heart, like the path before them, are not hidden. They are illuminated with warmth, allowing understanding and gentle reflection. A small owl perches silently on a branch, its eyes glimmering in the torchlight. It observes without judgment, steady and calm. In the old teachings, owls symbolize wisdom and quiet vigilance. Here, the owl watches the fires, the warriors, and the path itself, showing that sacred justice and trials are gentle teachers. You float closer to feel its serene presence, understanding that patience and awareness are among the softest flames that guide the heart. Along the river that runs beside the forest, the firelight reflects in soft ripples. You drift over the water, noticing how it mirrors the flickering torches. The reflections seem alive, moving gently with the current, a slow reminder that the trials of the heart, though they burn softly, always flow onward. Even pain, even challenge can be carried with grace and mindfulness, leaving the spirit lighter, calmer, and open to understanding. The warriors pause by the water's edge, kneeling for a quiet moment of reflection. Their torches sway gently in the night breeze, casting soft golden patterns across the stones. The air feels still, as if the world itself has taken a slow breath. Here, the spirit witnesses the heart's trials met with calm awareness. Even sacred punishment, when touched with care, serves as a flame that purifies, not destroys, and restores balance to the soul. Above, a thin layer of mist rises from the river, curling around the torches and stones. Its silver-gray touch softens every edge, turning the scene into a gentle dreamscape. You drift within it, weightless, calm, surrounded by flickering light and quiet reflection. Each flame is a soft lesson, each shadow a gentle guide. The fires of sacred justice illuminate patience, the courage to forgive, and the quiet strength that grows from calm endurance. The forest opens into a wide meadow, bathed in torchlight and moonlight together. Flowers sway in the gentle breeze, their petals catching faint flickers of gold and silver. The warriors step carefully, observing each soft touch of nature around them. The spirit learns that trials like these fires are not meant to consume, but to guide. The heart may burn gently, not in fear, but in quiet awareness, growing warmer and stronger with each careful step. A distant bell rings from a temple beyond the meadow. Its tone is slow, deep, and soothing, blending with the crackle of the torches and the soft rhythm of flowing water. The warriors bow their heads in respect, their faces calm and serene. The spirit drifts with them, sensing the unity of fire, water, and stone. Each element carries a lesson: endurance, forgiveness, and the gentle power of sacred guidance. The night deepens and the meadow is still. The torches flicker softly, casting slow-moving shadows that dance lightly over the grass. The spirit floats among them, absorbing their warmth and calm. The fires of the heart reveal that even in the midst of trials, patience and understanding can grow quietly, like gentle embers glowing steadily in the dark. A heron glides above a nearby pond, wings moving gracefully, touching the water lightly with its reflection. The spirit follows it, noticing how even small movements are guided with care and intention. In this gentle flight, the heart learns that strength is quiet, that patience is luminous, and that forgiveness flows like soft currents through every trial faced with mindful presence. The torches now stand along a high hill, their flames bright against the silver moon. The warriors reach the summit, pausing to watch the night stretch endlessly below. The firelight dances over their faces, revealing calm eyes and softened hearts. You drift above them, feeling the quiet lessons settle. Sacred justice is not harshness. Sacred trials are not punishment without care, and the flames of understanding can burn softly, warming the spirit rather than scorching it. As the night continues, the soft breeze carries the faint scent of smoke, flowers, and damp earth. The torchlight mingles with moonlight and mist, creating a serene, gentle glow across the land. You float slowly, letting the warmth of the fires and the calm of the night sink deeply into your being. The heart, when faced with trials, may endure softly, learn quietly, and rise stronger, guided by gentle illumination rather than fear. The stars above twinkle faintly, their silver light reflecting in every pool of water and every soft shadow. The torches flicker one last time, illuminating the path that has been walked with care. The warriors kneel briefly, offering a quiet reflection on the lessons carried within their hearts. The spirit drifts alongside them, weightless, calm, and soothed by the gentle warmth and soft illumination of sacred fires. Let us drift onward, leaving the flickering torches behind, floating over quiet meadows, calm rivers, and soft hills. Let the gentle warmth of sacred justice and patient trials settle quietly in your heart. Now rest, as the stars return to their steady vigil, as the night wraps softly around the land, and as your spirit drifts peacefully into sleep. Night falls gently over endless dunes, stretching in soft waves beneath a silver moon. The air is cool and still, carrying faint scents of dry earth and distant, hidden flowers. You drift slowly above the desert, floating weightlessly, feeling the quiet expanse unfold beneath you. Each dune curves gently, like a soft breath held in the land itself, and the sands shimmer faintly in the moonlight. Here in this silent desert, the echoes of ancient battles lie hidden beneath every grain. The sand has witnessed the rise and fall of armies, the quiet steps of warriors, the soft passage of time. Each footprint, each ripple, each shadow carries a story, a lesson in the sacred rhythm of cause and effect. You float above, feeling the gentle presence of these memories, letting them settle quietly in the spirit. A soft wind brushes across the dunes, carrying whispers of distant voices. The desert is not empty, it is full of remembrance. The cries of old conflicts rise and fall like soft waves, fatting into the stillness. Here judgment moves like the wind, steady, patient, and inevitable. Each gust shapes the sand, just as the choices of souls shape the currents of life. You drift gently with the wind, weightless, listening to its quiet song. In the heart of the desert, an ancient stone circle rises above the sands. Weathered and worn, its surface reflects the pale moonlight. You float closer, noticing the soft patterns carved long ago, symbols of balance, law, and sacred justice. Each mark is a quiet teacher, reminding the spirit that every action carries consequence, and every consequence, in turn, shapes the path forward. Even harsh lessons are gentle when seen through the soft lens of reflection. The dunes shift slightly, stirred by the slow wind, revealing traces of past journeys. Broken shields, faint footprints, and scattered stones lie half buried in sand. They are silent reminders, not of punishment alone, but of learning, of wisdom earned through experience. You drift above them, feeling the soft pulse of the desert, sensing how every mark left behind carries a story of cause and effect, echoing softly across time. A distant owl calls from a lonely cliff, its voice low and measured, blending with the whisper of sand. In many ancient teachings, the owl watches and learns, guiding souls with quiet vigilance. You float near the sound, letting it settle over you. The desert teaches patience through its stillness, endurance through its vast openness, and understanding through its quiet, rhythmic presence. Every grain of sand carries the weight of lessons lived and released. Moonlight falls over the ridges of the dunes, casting soft silver shadows. You drift along the curves, noticing how each wave of sand seems to breathe, moving slowly with the wind. The echoes of judgment, like the soft murmur of hidden streams, guide without haste. Even in silence, the sacred balance of cause and effect shapes the world. Every action leaves a trace, every trace teaches, and every lesson ripples quietly through time. In the distance, a small campfire glows faintly, flickering against the dark expanse. You float closer, sensing its warmth without heat. Around it, figures kneel in quiet reflection, their faces illuminated softly. These are the spirits of warriors long past, resting gently in the understanding that every choice carries weight. Even sacred judgment is not harsh. It is a shaping force, soft and deliberate, guiding the spirit toward harmony. The desert wind carries fine dust, drifting lazily over the firelight. The grains seem to dance in the air, twinkling like distant stars. You float among them, noticing how each tiny particle moves with purpose, yet without haste. The rhythm of the desert is slow, measured, and perfectly balanced. The echoes of judgment, like the sands themselves, flow gently, guiding each soul along a path that leads to understanding, patience, and quiet acceptance. Along the horizon, distant cliffs rise like silent guardians. Their edges are softened by time, their surfaces etched with faint marks of wind and weather. You drift nearer, noticing how the sands pile softly at their base, carrying the memory of countless footsteps. Even in hardship and conflict, the desert teaches that consequences are not meant to harm, but to reveal, to cleanse, and to restore the spirit's balance. A soft ripple moves across a hidden oasis, reflecting the moonlight and firelight together. You drift over the water, sensing its calm presence. In many old teachings, water symbolizes cleansing, release, and renewal. Here, the desert combines wind, sand, and water to remind the spirit that judgment, though it may seem harsh, flows naturally, gently carrying away what no longer serves the soul. Even echoes of old battles are softened by this patient rhythm. The dunes stretch endlessly, and the stars above twinkle like quiet eyes. Each star seems to remember the past, not with anger but with gentle recognition. The desert below mirrors their steady presence, absorbing every cry, every shadow, every lesson of long-past conflict. You float higher, weightless, feeling the soft harmony of cause and effect, the gentle guidance of judgment carried not with fear, but with understanding and calm. In the heart of the dunes, small wind-sculpted ridges form soft patterns in the sand. You drift above them, watching how every curve and line mirrors the quiet order of the world. The past, though present in memory, moves with gentle grace. Every action, every choice, every echo of conflict finds its place in the soft rhythm of the desert, shaping the land as the spirit is shaped by experience. A faint, soft chant rises from a hidden temple beyond the dunes. Its sound is low, even blending with the whispering wind. You float closer, feeling the vibrations settle gently in the body and mind. In the teachings of old, chants guide the soul toward clarity, patience, and acceptance. Here, amidst the desert echoes, the sacred rhythm of cause and effect is mirrored in sound as well as in sand. Every note carries the quiet weight of judgment and understanding. The night deepens and the desert becomes a soft dreamscape. Shadows blend with moonlight and each ripple in the sand moves like a gentle breath. You float over a ridge, noticing a lone figure walking slowly along the crest. Their steps are deliberate, soft, in tune with the rhythm of the dunes. Even in solitude, the lessons of the desert unfold: patience, reflection, and the quiet acceptance of consequence. Each step echoes softly, carrying the spirit toward calm understanding. A thin layer of mist rises from hidden valleys, curling over the dunes and softening the edges of the landscape. You drift through it, weightless and serene. The desert seems to breathe, slow and steady, carrying every echo of past judgment gently onward. Even the harshest lessons are softened by time, by wind, by moonlight. Every ripple, every shadow, every grain of sand teaches that sacred judgment is a gentle guide, not a threat. Along the river of sand, faint tracks of long-past travelers appear, half buried by shifting dunes. You float above them, noticing how each mark tells a story without words. Cause and effect flow like the soft rhythm of the desert wind. Every choice, every action leaves its mark, but the desert holds them lightly, never judging, only guiding the spirit toward understanding and harmony. Above, stars glimmer faintly, mirrored in every ripple of sand below. Lanterns flicker on the horizon, soft signals of care and guidance. The echoes of judgment are present, yet gentle like the slow heartbeat of the earth itself. You drift quietly, weightless, absorbing the calm rhythm of cause and effect, letting the desert settle gently within your heart. Let us drift onward, leaving the quiet sands behind, floating over soft dunes, gentle rivers of sand and faint flickers of lantern light. Let the rhythm of judgment, balanced and patient, rest quietly in your spirit. Now rest as the stars return to their silent watch, as the wind whispers softly through the dunes, and as your soul drifts peacefully into sleep. The night is gentle, draping the land in deep velvet shadows, sprinkled with soft silver stars. You float above quiet valleys, over slow rivers that reflect the pale moonlight. The air carries the faint scent of incense and wet earth, a calm perfume that settles quietly around the spirit. Here, the world feels tender, as if the very ground is breathing softly beneath you. Along a narrow path, torches glow faintly, their flames swaying like gentle sentinels in the breeze. Each flicker seems alive, yet calm, like a small heart beating in rhythm with the universe. You drift slowly along this path, noticing that the air itself feels thick with presence, a sense of watchful care that moves through the night. These are the guardians of sacred law, unseen yet fully aware, carrying a quiet weight of duty that is soft rather than harsh. The guardians do not rush. They move as shadows flowing through trees, over hills, and beside rivers without breaking the peace. Their steps leave no trace, yet their presence is felt as a soft warmth, a gentle nudge that guides the heart. Each action, each breath carries the subtle lesson that punishment, when guided by sacred law, is never cruelty. It is a shaping, a quiet molding of the spirit toward balance and understanding. In the distance, a temple rises on a hill, its golden light spilling softly across the surrounding stones. You drift closer, feeling the pull of calm that radiates from within. The guardians linger here, invisible yet near, their presence like the quiet pulse of the temple itself. Each column, each carved relief, tells a story of patience and justice, of souls shaped through soft guidance rather than fear. You float along the temple's steps, sensing the care and intention woven into every stone. Soft winds carry distant chimes, their notes light and airy, echoing across the hills. The guardians move in harmony with these tones, their invisible steps aligning with the subtle rhythm of the chimes. You notice how even the faintest sound seems to touch their presence, guiding them, and in turn, guiding all who walk this path. The night is calm, and in its calmness, the spirit begins to understand that justice is a rhythm, a soft and steady current that flows gently yet inevitably. A small pool rests in the temple courtyard, reflecting the torchlight and the silver glow of the moon. The water ripples lightly, stirred by a passing breeze. You drift above it, seeing the reflection of stars and flames dancing together. The guardians hover unseen, their presence felt more than seen, like the quiet strength beneath every ripple. Here, the spirit learns that even when punishment comes, it is a gentle shaping, a soft illumination that reveals the path forward rather than instills fear. The air smells faintly of sandalwood and earth, blending into a fragrance that is warm and grounding. You drift along the edge of the temple, noticing soft impressions in the soil, subtle traces left by those who have come before. Each step is a story, each footprint a lesson. The guardians watch silently, tenderly, ensuring that the steps of the present align with the rhythm of sacred law. Even the most difficult trials are tempered by their careful oversight, like a candle flame steady against the dark. In a quiet courtyard, small figures kneel, eyes lowered, hearts open. They do not see the guardians, but they feel them, a soft pressure of presence that reassures and calms. Every breath, every heartbeat becomes synchronized with this gentle guidance. The spirit drifts among them, absorbing the quiet lesson that punishment in its truest form is never meant to wound, but to refine, to align the soul with harmony, patience, and understanding. Above, stars shine with quiet intensity, mirrored in the temple's reflecting pools. You float higher, seeing the guardian's presence like a soft halo over every stone, every ripple, every flicker of light. The night itself feels aware, breathing slowly, guiding gently, as if the entire world participates in the tender shaping of each soul. Here, sacred law is not a harsh ruler, but a compassionate guide, flowing softly through the rhythm of life and time. A distant bell sounds, low and deep, vibrating through the air. Its resonance moves across the hills, touching each stone, tree, and river with gentle care. You drift toward it, feeling its vibrations settle into the body and mind. The guardians respond to its tone, their presence expanding and contracting with each wave. Even in moments of judgment, the rhythm remains soft, steady, a reminder that every lesson, every consequence is tempered with understanding. Along the temple's edge, lanterns sway in a gentle wind, casting dancing patterns across the ground. You float among these shadows, noticing how the guardian's presence seems to animate the patterns, making the stones glow with quiet warmth. Their guidance is subtle, never forceful, like the soft turning of a wheel. Every action of the spirit, every thought and choice, is met with careful observation and tender correction, shaping the soul toward calm balance. In a secluded garden, the soft scent of jasmine rises in the night air. The guardians move invisibly among the flowers, their presence a light brush against each petal. You float closer, sensing the gentle energy that permeates the space. Every blossom, every leaf, is a symbol of growth and quiet resilience. The spirit learns that even in judgment there is beauty, there is care, and there is the patient shaping of what is fragile, tender, or incomplete. A narrow bridge crosses a quiet stream nearby, its wooden planks reflecting the moonlight. The guardians linger silently, their presence a quiet reassurance for any traveler who may pass. You drift above the bridge, noticing how each step taken is met with a soft guiding force, a subtle nudge that encourages alignment and balance. Sacred law here is gentle, like water flowing over smooth stones, gradually shaping the path without force or fear. The temple's courtyard opens to a wide hill, where torches sway like soft stars along the ridges. You float over them, feeling the rhythm of each flame, each flicker a heartbeat of quiet guidance. The guardians move alongside these flames, invisible but tangible, reminding the spirit that every trial is an opportunity to learn patience, forgiveness, and calm strength. Even punishment, when seen through their soft presence, is a form of care, a tender shaping of the heart. Above, the sky is deep and still, stars scattered like diamonds across dark velvet. The guardian's presence seems to blend with the constellations, a quiet echo of cosmic order. You drift among the stars, feeling their soft influence touch the spirit. Even in moments of difficulty, there is no cruelty here. only guidance, gentle shaping, and the quiet certainty that every soul is held with care. In the distance, a soft murmur of running water flows through a stone channel, reflecting the torchlight and moonlight together. The guardians hover nearby, their presence as steady and calm as the stream. Each ripple mirrors the gentle flow of judgment, showing the spirit that even consequences move with grace, shaping life without harshness. You float over the water, feeling the harmony settle in your heart, soft and warm. The night deepens further and the temple grows quiet. Lanterns dim slightly, torches flicker softly, and the wind carries a gentle hush across the hills. The guardians linger, unseen yet fully present, guiding with patience, tenderly shaping what has been tested, and allowing the spirit to absorb the quiet wisdom of their watchful care. Every shadow, every ripple, every flicker is a soft lesson, a gentle reminder that sacred law exists not to punish in cruelty, but to nurture, guide, and illuminate the soul. Let us drift onward, leaving the temple and its quiet guardians behind. Feel the soft warmth of their presence settle gently within your heart. Now rest, as the stars return to their silent vigil, as the gentle wind whispers through the hills, and as your spirit floats peacefully into sleep. The sky grows soft with twilight, folding the day gently into night. You float above quiet hills where the last light lingers, fading slowly across the contours of the land. Shadows stretch like gentle whispers, brushing over scattered stones and quiet paths. A cool breeze carries the faint scent of earth and distant pine, wrapping the spirit in calm as you drift forward. Below, the remains of ancient battles lie scattered, softened by time. Broken shields, worn banners, and scattered armor glimmer faintly in the last rays of sun. They do not speak of pain alone, but of lessons learned, of souls shaped through trials, of the quiet rhythm of cause and effect. You drift among them, moving slowly, as if the very air is a soft lullaby guiding your heart to rest. The land is hushed, yet full of memory. Each shield, dented and worn, carries a story of courage, humility, and reflection. The spirit senses the quiet wisdom that rises from these remnants, a gentle teaching that even in struggle there is calm, and even in endings there is renewal. The light touches each edge softly, turning metal into silver and memory into gentle reflection. A distant owl calls, low and steady, its voice blending with the soft rustle of leaves. In the ancient teachings, owls are watchers of the night, guiding the lost, revealing hidden truths, and offering quiet understanding. You float closer, feeling the presence of these gentle guides as they move among the shadows, their watchful eyes comforting rather than threatening. Here, the night itself becomes a teacher, unfolding lessons with calm patience. Moonlight begins to touch the horizon, spilling silver across the broken landscape. Each fallen banner seems to sway softly, carried not by wind but by the quiet energy of remembrance. The spirit moves gently over the fields, sensing the flow of time, the soft shaping of memory, and the tender care of the divine order. Even the remnants of conflict are transformed here into guides for the heart, teaching humility and reflection. Soft sand shifts beneath scattered armor, carrying faint echoes of footsteps long past. You drift along these paths, following the rhythm of soft echoes, letting each step guide the spirit into quiet understanding. Every dent in a shield, every tear in a banner, tells of choices made and consequences faced. And yet, there is no harshness here, only the calm knowledge that all lessons shape the soul with gentle precision. A still pool reflects the moon and stars above, its surface perfectly calm. You float closer, seeing the reflection of scattered shields and armor mirrored in silver light. In this quiet water, the spirit senses cleansing and renewal. The remnants of conflict are absorbed into the soft rhythm of night, and the heart feels lighter, freer, as understanding flows gently like the calm surface of the pool. Nearby, a circle of stones glows faintly in moonlight, each stone smooth from centuries of wind and time. You drift among them, noticing how the stones hold memory without judgment. The night teaches that reflection itself is sacred. Every moment of humility, every thought of surrender to the divine order brings quiet healing. The guardians of law, unseen yet present, guide each step softly, turning judgment into gentle shaping rather than stern command. A soft wind stirs, moving through the broken banners and over scattered shields. It carries a faint song, a melody of the past that hums quietly in the spirit. You float above it, letting the rhythm of wind and memory fill your mind. Each note, each breath of air, speaks of patience, forgiveness, and calm understanding. Here, punishment and trial are understood as forms of care, shaping the soul as gently as the breeze moves over the landscape. The night deepens and the stars grow brighter, scattering silver across the hills and ruins. You drift over a fallen column, its edges worn smooth by centuries of wind. It rests quietly, strong yet softened, teaching the spirit that even in endings there is peace. Each fallen shield, each broken banner, is a teacher of humility, a gentle reminder that surrender to divine order is not loss but freedom, not fear but trust. A soft drumbeat echoes far across the valley, low and steady, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. You drift toward it, feeling its vibration resonate in your chest and mind. The rhythm carries the lessons of balance and order, of cause and effect, of patience and quiet reflection. Even the echoes of conflict are transformed into soft guidance, teaching the heart how to rest and understand the gentle law that shapes all things. Lanterns flicker in the distance, their warm glow mingling with the silver of the moon. You float closer, noticing small figures kneeling among the ruins, their hands folded, heads bowed. They do not see the spirits of guardians, but they feel the soft presence of care and guidance. Every sigh, every soft movement is in harmony with the rhythm of healing, reflection, and surrender. The spirit drifts among them, absorbing the calm certainty that all is held in gentle balance. Along the edge of a quiet river, water flows slowly over smooth stones, reflecting the scattered remains of battle in gentle light. You drift above the river, sensing how the water absorbs memory without judgment. Each ripple is a soft teacher, showing how even past struggles can flow away, leaving clarity and peace in their place. The spirit feels light, carried gently along the stream of quiet understanding. A faint breeze stirs the grass along the banks, moving the reflection of stars in soft waves across the water. You float among the movement, weightless, feeling the rhythm of life and memory merge in gentle harmony. Even the hardest lessons of conflict, the sharpest edges of trial, are softened here, embraced by the calm of night, the steady pulse of divine order, and the quiet shaping of the spirit. Above, a crescent moon rises, casting silver light across the landscape. You drift higher, seeing the full spread of fields, rivers, and scattered remnants of battles past. Each object, each mark on the land carries a quiet story. The spirit feels the rhythm of reflection and surrender, learning that even in endings, there is gentle care, and that every step taken in humility is a step toward harmony. A soft mist rises from the river, curling gently over the fields and stones. You float through it, feeling it wrap around the spirit like a warm, comforting blanket. The mist carries the lessons of past struggles softly, weaving patience and understanding into the heart. Here, twilight itself becomes a guide, showing how reflection, surrender, and humility can transform even echoes of conflict into healing, quiet strength. The stars above shimmer faintly, mirrored in silvered pools of water and dew-covered stones. You drift among the reflections, noticing how even the darkest shadows are softened by moonlight. The spirit feels the quiet presence of guardians, unseen but near, ensuring that every echo of battle, every fallen shield, and every gentle breath of reflection is held with care, teaching the lessons of sacred order with calm precision. Soft fires burn faintly along distant hills, their flicker gentle, not threatening but steady. You drift toward them, sensing warmth and safety. Each flame carries a whisper of forgiveness, of patience, and of quiet guidance. Even the remnants of war are embraced here, shaped into lessons of humility and reflection. The spirit rests, knowing that surrender to divine order is the pathway to peace, and that every echo of conflict is softened by the rhythm of night. The wind slows, the stars shine steadily, and the night becomes a gentle lullaby. You float above the fields of fallen shields, over rivers reflecting moonlight and among soft lanterns and flickering torches. Every shadow, every ripple of water, every whisper of wind carries the soft lessons of reflection, surrender, and gentle understanding. Here, the spirit drifts calmly, held by the quiet pulse of divine order. Let us drift onward, leaving the twilight fields behind, carried by the soft rhythm of night, moonlight, and memory. Now rest as the stars return to their silent vigil, as the wind whispers gently through the hills, and as your heart floats peacefully into sleep. The night is gentle, brushing the land with soft darkness. You float above fields where the echoes of ancient battles have quieted, and the ashes of old fires now rest beneath the cool earth. The air carries a faint scent of warm soil and distant blooms, wrapping the spirit in calm. Stars shimmer lightly above, like quiet eyes watching over the stillness. Amid the scattered remnants of conflict, small sprouts begin to push through the earth. Their green tips glimmer faintly in the moonlight, delicate and tender. Each blossom rises gently, soft and quiet, carrying the promise of renewal. You drift slowly over these tiny signs of life, feeling the gentle pulse of hope emerging from the ashes, teaching the spirit that even in endings, beauty and growth can arise. A faint breeze stirs the air, moving through petals and fallen leaves alike. The flowers sway in rhythm, almost as if they are breathing with the night. You float among them, noticing how each petal catches the moonlight, glowing softly against the dark soil. The blossoms carry a quiet lesson. Life continues, even after trials, and the spirit is always capable of gentle renewal. The ruins of old fortresses and shattered walls remain in the distance, softened by time. Their stones are darkened and weathered, yet around them, flowers bloom quietly, threading life through the cracks. You drift closer, sensing the harmony in the juxtaposition. Here, the spirit learns that destruction is never the end, and that the gentle hand of nature and of divine care transforms hardship into quiet beauty. Soft waters flow nearby, reflecting the moon and stars in silver light. Tiny buds float on the surface, drifting slowly with the current. You move above them, feeling the calm rhythm of the water carry peace to your heart. The blossoms, the flowing river, the faint scent of earth, all conspire to teach the spirit patience, hope, and the quiet power of gentle growth after struggle. The air carries faint sounds of life, the hum of insects, the whisper of wind through tall grasses, the distant croak of a frog. These sounds form a soft symphony of renewal. You drift above the fields, letting each note settle in your chest, like a slow heartbeat. Here, even the echoes of destruction are tempered by gentle understanding, showing the spirit that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. A grove of small trees rises beyond the river, their branches heavy with blossoms that sway gently. The blossoms are pale, luminous, catching the silver light of the moon. You float among the branches, sensing a quiet reverence in the air. Each flower seems to carry a memory of what was lost, yet also a promise of what may come. The spirit feels warmth in its heart, a soft understanding that hope persists quietly, even where the world seems silent. Near a ruined temple, petals carpet the ground, soft as whispers. You drift closer, seeing how the flowers bend toward the temple ruins, as if honoring the lessons that were once learned there. The spirit senses the sacredness in this simple act of life emerging from destruction. Each bloom is a gentle teacher, showing that patience, humility, and quiet resilience can flourish even after turmoil. The wind moves lightly through the field, carrying the faint fragrance of jasmine and wildflowers. You drift along the currents, feeling the scent settle into your mind and heart. Each inhalation brings calm, each exhalation releases tension. The blossoms sway in the wind as if breathing alongside you, reminding the spirit that growth, renewal, and sacred hope are never rushed. They unfold slowly, with gentle care. Above, stars shine clearly, reflected in the small pools of water scattered across the field. You float higher, noticing how the blossoms mirror the sky, tiny lights of life emerging from darkness. Each flower, each reflection, teaches the spirit that beauty is not separate from trials, and that gentle persistence carries the heart through hardship. The night is alive with quiet guidance, soft and patient, like a slow, tender breath. In a quiet corner, a single tree grows amid the ashes, its branches heavy with flowers. The blossoms glow faintly in the moonlight, radiating calm energy. You drift closer, feeling the soft presence of the divine in this quiet renewal. Every petal seems to whisper a sacred truth, that from every hardship, every trial, life can bloom, and the spirit can find sacred hope and gentle strength. Along a winding path, more blossoms push through the earth, reaching toward the light. Their colors are soft, pale yellows and pinks that shimmer under the moon. You drift among them, sensing how each flower moves with the rhythm of the wind and the night. Even in silence, they teach. Growth is quiet, patient, and inevitable. The spirit feels carried by this gentle wisdom, heart opening to the calm lessons of resilience. A soft murmur of water flows through a nearby brook, mingling with the rustle of leaves and petals. You float above the stream, noticing how each blossom that touches the water seems to ripple softly, spreading calm outward. The spirit drifts with these ripples, understanding that hope and renewal, once planted, move gently but persistently through life, touching everything they encounter. The night deepens further and a crescent moon rises above the hills. Its light touches each blossom, making them glow like quiet lanterns in the darkness. You float higher, seeing the entire field bathed in soft silver. Here, every flower, every gentle rustle of wind, every reflection in the water is a sacred lesson. Even after conflict, after hardship, life finds a way to bloom, to carry hope quietly into the heart. Soft fireflies begin to appear, their gentle glow drifting among the blossoms. You float alongside them, watching how they move slowly, deliberately, lighting the night without hurry or force. Their tiny lights remind the spirit of the gentle persistence of hope, of sacred renewal. Each step, each breath, each quiet movement of the heart carries the power to transform ashes into blooms, sorrow into calm, and loss into sacred understanding. The wind softens, carrying the faint murmur of the night, the quiet scent of flowers, and the gentle hum of life emerging from quiet soil. You drift along the field, feeling the blossoms' soft energy touch your heart. The spirit feels a gentle release, a quiet warmth, and the understanding that renewal is always possible, that sacred hope is never absent, and that even the quietest blossom holds profound teaching. A small grove near the temple glows with flowers, each one opening slowly to the moon. You float among them, sensing the rhythm of life and renewal, soft and patient. The blossoms remind the spirit that beauty is a teacher, that gentleness is a guide, and that even in the aftermath of conflict, life continues, quietly, softly, steadily, carrying lessons of patience, hope, and sacred calm. Stars shimmer above, mirrored by the blossoms and small pools of water below. You drift higher, letting the night and its gentle lessons fill the mind and heart. The blossoms, the soft breeze, the quiet river, and the glowing fireflies weave together a sacred lullaby. Here, the spirit floats, embraced by the quiet certainty that renewal comes, that hope persists, and that the heart can always find calm, gentle growth. Let us drift onward, leaving the blossoms to sway gently in the night, carried by the soft rhythm of wind, moonlight, and memory. Now rest, as the stars return to their silent vigil, as the flowers hold their quiet glow, and as your spirit floats peacefully into sleep. The night softens around you, and a pale glow begins to shimmer across the horizon. You float above quiet valleys and gentle hills, where the whispers of ancient lessons drift like faint winds. The earth rests beneath a blanket of silver moonlight, and the sky is calm, scattered with stars that hum softly in memory. Here, the spirit feels a gentle invitation to rise, to walk a luminous path toward inner peace. A slow breeze moves across the fields, carrying the faint fragrance of jasmine and wild herbs. You drift along with it, feeling each inhalation calm the mind and each exhalation release tension. The path ahead is not harsh, not urgent. It is tender, luminous, and filled with quiet understanding. Each step along this path is guided by the soft touch of light, illuminating lessons learned from the past, from battles, from the gentle shaping of the soul. You notice that the hills themselves seem to glow faintly, as though the earth remembers the echoes of sacred laws and patient correction. Shadows move softly across the slopes, but they are not dark or threatening. They flow like whispers, reminding the spirit that every moment of difficulty carries a lesson. Each shadow bends gently with the light, reflecting a balance between trial and understanding, between the weight of action and the soft lift of wisdom. A river winds through the valley below, its surface gleaming like polished silver. Tiny ripples catch the moonlight, scattering sparks of quiet illumination across the still water. You float above the river, sensing its calm rhythm, as if it flows with the heartbeat of the world itself. The water carries a soft lesson, that life, though shaped by past struggles and correction, moves gently forward, restoring harmony and balance with every turn. Along the riverbanks, delicate blossoms open quietly in the night. Their petals glow faintly under the moon, each one a reminder of the spirit's ability to grow, to bloom, and to carry forward the tender wisdom of past lessons. You drift among these flowers, feeling their calm energy brush against your heart. The blossoms speak softly. Every trial endured, every shadow passed through, leads to a luminous understanding, a serene peace that settles gently within. Above the river, small birds rise into the air, their wings catching the soft light like tiny mirrors of the moon. They glide in gentle arcs, calling quietly to one another, and you float with them, drifting through the calm night air. Their soft song carries a lesson in patience and harmony, that the spirit moves not by force but with gentle guidance, letting lessons of justice, kindness, and understanding unfold at their own pace. Further along the path, you see ancient trees standing sentinel, their leaves shimmering faintly. Each tree bears the weight of countless seasons, yet its branches bend softly, offering shade and comfort to travelers. You drift beneath them, feeling their presence as a quiet embrace. Here, the spirit learns that strength and softness coexist, that the guidance of sacred law is not a burden, but a gentle shaping, a luminous path that nurtures wisdom and balance. The air grows warmer as dawn approaches, soft light brushing the edges of the horizon. You drift through this quiet moment, sensing how the night's lessons have settled in your heart. The echoes of punishment, of trials, of gentle correction are no longer sharp. They are soft, luminous memories that guide without fear. The spirit feels a calm understanding, that life's balance is tender, that growth emerges quietly, and that every lesson serves as a gentle hand on the luminous path forward. Tiny pools of water glimmer among the roots of the trees, reflecting the soft morning light. You float above them, watching as each reflection dances slowly across the surface. The images ripple gently, reminding the spirit that reflection itself is a form of guidance. Just as the water mirrors the sky and the blossoms, the soul mirrors the lessons it has received, finding luminous understanding and tender wisdom in every moment of life. Along the edge of a quiet meadow, soft grasses sway in the gentle morning breeze. Each blade moves slowly, each one a whisper of patience. You drift with the grass, feeling the rhythm of their gentle sway echo in your chest. Here, the spirit senses that calm understanding grows not from haste, but from quiet observation, from allowing the gentle lessons of sacred life to take root, bloom, and guide softly toward balance. The first rays of sunlight stretch across the valley, touching flowers, water, and trees alike. They do not blaze harshly, but pour a gentle golden light that illuminates the path without overwhelming. You drift along this path, feeling the warmth settle in your heart. Every shadow from the past, every moment of trial and correction, is now softened by light. The spirit sees clearly that sacred punishment, once heavy and distant, now transforms into gentle understanding, guiding toward peace. A small hill rises before you, its slope covered with soft wildflowers. You drift slowly upward, each step feeling weightless, each breath calm and easy. At the top, the view opens wide. The valley stretches below, rivers and blossoms mingling in a luminous tapestry. Here, the spirit understands the fullness of the journey, that every challenge, every quiet lesson of justice and consequence contributes to the luminous path that leads gently forward. The wind carries faint whispers of past guardians and teachers, soft voices echoing like a lullaby. You drift among them, feeling their guidance brush gently against the soul. They do not command, they do not demand. They simply remind the spirit of the tender balance of life, the sacred rhythm of giving and receiving, of learning and forgiving. The luminous path forward is shaped by understanding, patience, and quiet compassion. As the sun rises higher, the sky opens into a calm expanse of soft gold and pale blue. You float above the valley, feeling the warmth of the morning light fill the spirit with serenity. Every flower, every ripple, every leaf and branch carries a gentle lesson that life, shaped by sacred guidance, moves steadily toward harmony. The spirit feels itself cradled in this calm, luminous understanding, ready to rest and grow in quiet peace. A final gentle breeze carries the scent of earth, flowers, and soft morning dew. You drift with it, letting it brush over the heart and mind, settling all tension, all worry. Each inhalation fills the soul with light, each exhalation releases the weight of the past. The spirit floats easily, calm and nurtured, carried by the luminous path that stretches endlessly ahead, soft and gentle, yet full of quiet strength. Above the valley, the light spreads evenly, illuminating the blossoms, the water, and the trees. You drift slowly, feeling the presence of life in every detail, every petal, every ripple, every faint sound. The path forward is clear yet tender, a soft guidance toward understanding, balance, and sacred calm. The spirit rests here, wrapped in luminous light, knowing that the lessons of the journey of punishment, growth, and gentle shaping have blossomed into quiet wisdom. Now let the morning settle fully, the breeze whisper softly, the flowers sway gently, and the river flow calmly. You drift above the valley at peace with the past, the present, and the path forward. The spirit feels luminous, balanced, and serene. Every lesson is now a soft glow, every memory a gentle guide. Let us drift onward along this luminous path, carried by light, wind, and the quiet rhythm of life. Now rest as the sun rises fully, as the stars fade softly, and as the spirit embraces calm understanding and tender peace.